How to use the low threshold breakout scan to find more candidates. The low threshold breakout scan will allow you to find candidates besides 4% and dollar breakout. So you'll have a wider choice of candidates, and one of the biggest advantage of low threshold breakout, as the name says, it is a low threshold breakout, so you will get an entry which is much closer to your stop. So you will get into situations where your risk reward is significantly in your favor, and you will get into many breakouts much earlier than they can be identified by 4% or dollar breakout. So in order to do that, basically I run a scan which is on universe again, basically which looks for a stock which is got liquidity of 100,000, price above $1, and trend intensity above 105, and then the stock should meet the condition where its price percent change today is greater than the price percent change which it had yesterday, and the yesterday's price percent change was less than 2%. So once you apply this particular condition, you get 223 candidates. Now again, in the earlier video when you saw, what we had is we had this universe bullish list which had 4% breakout and dollar breakout. Now we don't want to duplicate our efforts, so what we are going to do is we are going to flag all symbols in this list so that any candidate which is duplicate in this list we can eliminate. And then once we do that, what we'll do is this low threshold breakout candidate will copy all candidate to that bullish working list. We have already gone through the 4% on dollar breakout, so we want to eliminate that. So once we remove those, what you get is you get 144 candidates today. So let's go through them to find a candidate which is a low threshold breakout, which offers us a very good low risk entry point. Now some of this kind of a thing is basically one can buy in anticipation that it will break out to the upside, and then that way you'll capture the breakout day gains itself. If you try and do that, you'll probably put a stop at the low of this particular 3 or 4 days consolidation. So that's one possible candidate which is there, but it is more in the anticipation kind of a situation, but I'll put it like as one possible candidate. So let's look at others. Now even this green dot is setting up very nicely for a possible breakout. Again, it will more go into an anticipation kind of a list because it is not really a clear breakout. Even your McDonald is in a similar kind of a situation. But like here is another one candidate where you can buy in anticipation and put a stop probably at around this level, and if it works, you will get the first day gain, and if it breaks out, it is going to break out with $2 to $3 or $4 kind of a breakout, or sometimes it can be a 4% breakout. So that way you're getting into a situation before the breakout itself. So let's try and look at some more candidates. And this is a low price stock. See, the good thing about low threshold breakout is it allows you to enter next day. Unlike 4% breakout and dollar breakout, many times if you don't enter it during the day, then it becomes riskier. So while because this is a low threshold breakout, now this is another one of those low threshold breakout where there is like, this is the first leg which is very orderly consolidation. Stock is breaking out. It's a large float kind of a stock, and the stock is breaking out only with 1% kind of a move. See, if you see, this is a range expansion, and if it goes up $2 to $3, still that's a very nice risk reward setup kind of a situation. So let's look at some more candidate if we can find something. And the same criteria that you look for in a 4% breakout, here you're looking for in the terms of linear first move. Now this is again another one possible candidate which we didn't take in the dollar breakout because it was like basically not meeting that condition, but here like maybe kind of a situation. So this is another one which is like, say, it's breaking out with 2.99%. So obviously this will not show up in your 4% scan. That is the idea behind low threshold. So some of these are like, and it is still a good breakout because this is the first leg, very orderly pullback, breaking out. Volume was also high. It didn't like and had a 4% breakout, but that doesn't mean it's not it's a bad setup. So that's another one which was there. You have even this SGMO, see here, like a very orderly pullback and then breaking out with 3.37% move. So that's another candidate which you have. And then so this is another one which is like, see, 1 2 3 4 5 days sideways, breaking out with 3.74%, which will not come in your 4% breakout. Sometimes they'll not meet your 4% breakout candidate, but like as a setup, this is like very orderly, 1 2 3 4 5 6 days up, and then 4 5 days sideways and breaking out. Now that's a very nice setup. You would take it if it was a 4% breakout. So those are like candidates which you will find using low threshold breakout. These are like more in terms of entering in anticipation with a closed stop. If it works, you can like really get a very good risk reward kind of a trade, while these are like actual breakouts, PGRs on SGMO and AIMT. So that is how you can use the low threshold breakout to increase your possible level of candidates. And it is also useful for working people because you can enter breakouts like this next day without like too much of a problem, as against that if you have a 4% stock breakout or 9 or 10% breakout candidate, then next day morning you try and enter it, you're going to get a much bigger risk. You'll have to risk much bigger because your stop will be further away from your entry. So this is one of the major advantage of low threshold breakout, and especially for people who are full-time traders, it gives you a larger number of candidates to work with as against just dollar breakout and 4% breakout. So that's the whole idea behind the low threshold breakout and how you can use it. And the best way to use it again for a full-time trader is to use it during the day, because when you use it during the day, you'll find many candidates which are not yet had a 4% breakout or dollar breakout for the day will first show up in a low threshold breakout. And if you enter them based on a low threshold breakout, you will capture part of the breakout day move itself, because many times stock will make a 6 7 8 10% move on the breakout day itself, while it will show up in your low threshold breakout early in the morning, half an hour, 1 hour. And if you can enter with just 2% or 3% when it was up, then you will get that 6 7% additional gain which happens during the day, and plus your stop will be much closer to your entry, and as a result you will have a very high risk reward kind of a situation. So that's how you can use the low threshold breakout scan to find candidate. Now this is using only TI65. If you want, you can like expand the universe to get more stocks by using other kind of momentum lists like MDT, DT, or the Minervini trend template. But what I have shown you today is just using the TI65, which will capture most of the best trends in the market. So that's how you can use the low threshold breakout scan to find further buy candidate, and especially find situations where your stop is much closer to entry, because these are low threshold breakout.